Well, hello and welcome. I'm Alyssa Morgan with the Be Well Collaborative. For all of our Be Well friends who are here, if you would wave and say hello, we've got an awesome group of community volunteers here who've been part of this space of creating, really centering the Black community and lifting up our health and well-being. So we're so happy to have our diverse community here today. We have some new guests who just joined, so folks would add in the chat your name and what city you're coming from and anything you're looking forward to today. We're super excited to have you here. So this webinar is a solution that came out of COVID and the uprisings that happened in this last year, and Be Well came together to find ways to really promote healing, mental health, and well-being. And we'll share some resources in the chat with you throughout our time together. I would like to launch a quick poll and find out from folks. Today's theme is honoring ancestral knowledge. Is that theme new to you, or is it something you have some experience with? So we'd like to invite you all to find the poll on your computer screen, or if you're on your cell phone, there may be a little bubble that's appeared maybe towards the bottom. Please share with us, is this something that's a new experience for you or something you have some background in? I see Sammy's here from Be Well. Hello, Marcus from Long Beach. Wonderful. Okay, it looks like, just waiting for a couple more responses about today. It looks like we've got almost 50-50. Well, no, I lied. We're about a third. Folks who this might be new, they may have some experience with this or maybe not. So cool. Looks like we've got a really good mix of folks here today. That's dope. I'm going to try to share our presentation. Let's see if this bad boy works. I see. Cool. Okay, so please do mute yourself and turn on your camera if you're comfortable in doing so. And again, if you've just arrived, please do share your name, where you're from, so that we can say hello. All right, so today's objectives for our Be Well webinar, we want you to have the opportunity to learn how to connect to our rich heritage for healing. Again, this is a Black-centered space, so we have amazing Black healers who are going to be presenting today that we'll get to know better. We'd like for you to be able to try some self-care practices. We've got Dr. Fuller, also known as Blakwatter, who's going to be joining us at the end of our webinar and giving us some personal stretches and movements and practices that we can try to help de-stress, help, push past some of the difficult times we might be going through right now. A lot of us have experienced grief or maybe have contracted, had COVID or lost someone from it. There's been a lot of stress in the air with the uprisings, with the hate crimes that have been happening, the Asian community just being targeted, all the violence around us. We wanted to give folks some real tools to be able to cope with some of that. We'd like for you to be able to experience a supportive community here. This is a special space for us, and to learn about some mental well-being resources that we'll be sharing throughout the session. So we do want to thank our sponsors. Today's webinar is brought to you in partnership with Elite Skills Development. I think Sharon Diggs Jackson may be here in our space today. So thank you, Sharon, for that support in this grant, and the Long Beach Black Health Equity Fund. So really, more than ever, we think that our mental health and our overall well-being is really important, and want to be able to share with our community resources that we think might be helpful. Again, want to acknowledge all of our awesome Be Well Collaborative members and advisors. And for those of you who are here in this space, do give a wave or rename yourself with Be Well at the end so folks know who you are. And again, just want to acknowledge that we stand united against hate and in solidarity with our Asian brothers and sisters. All right, Kim, I'm going to pass it on over to you.
Great. Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. My name is Kim. Some of you know me. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm also part of BLM Black Lives Matter Long Beach, and just been part of our healing community in Long Beach and LA for the last 2 years. So I want to give a little bit of a land acknowledgement before we get started. So we want to acknowledge that we are on the sacred land of the Tongva Nation. The colonization of this land reflects the systems of power upon which this country was founded and which continue to operate today. We honor the Tongva and all Indigenous people, past, present, and future, and their continued survival and contributions to our society. We also honor the legacy of the African diaspora and recognize that this country would not exist without the free enslaved labor of Black people. We know that contemporary struggles for Black lives are connected to our history of violence and white supremacy. We share these acknowledgements and pay respect to the original caretakers of this land to raise awareness about histories that are too often erased or forgotten, to recognize our place in this history, and to affirm our commitment to social change. Please take a moment to feel the ground underneath your feet and honor the land. And if you're not from Long Beach and you're currently on some other land, please go ahead and feel free to put it in the chat. Thank you for honoring the Indigenous land in Long Beach, the Tongva people. I'll turn it over to Pat now to tell us a little bit about Be Well Collaborative.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the Black Wellness Collaborative is a diverse grassroots group of neighbors and allies who came about our community well-being, who care about our community's well-being. We connected last year with similar interests around social and racial justice via the Black Lives Matter Long Beach chapter. We began working on a Black mental health public education and awareness campaign, which resulted in formation of our Black Wellness Collaborative. We support coalition building and resource sharing without regional borders. That's a little bit about what Be Well means. And then our vision is one thing we all have in common is that all Black people receive the care, compassion, dignity, and respect that everyone deserves when it comes to health. Please share in the chat if you have any questions about Be Well, and I will pass the mic back to Kim.
Thank you, Pat. And Melissa dropped the link in the chat for the Be Well Collab website if folks want to find out more about us. So it is my honor and pleasure to introduce our beloved stewardess of the Earth Lodge Center for Transformation, Queen Hollins. The Earth Lodge is a spiritual sanctuary for people to transform their trauma into healing and justice. They're celebrating 25 years of Black-led queer leadership in Black Indigenous practices of healing through ritual and ceremony. Queen believes that the earth has medicine to heal our trauma and aid us in living healthy and holistic lives. Please make some space in your heart as we invite Queen to lead us in libations. Queen? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Thank you, Kim. It's such an honor to be here. Anytime there's folks coming together to heal, I definitely want to be a part of it. So thank you, Be Well Collab. Thank you, BLM. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, all of the folks who hold space for this Well Collab, and may it just continue to grow and expand across the globe. And today I'd like to have the honor and privilege of calling in and recognizing the ancestors. And there'll be a moment where we'll ask you to call your ancestors in, those that you want to be with you, those that you were fond of, and maybe those that you were not so fond of, because they actually need to get this healing as well. The ancestral realm is very real. And so when we call them, we call with intention. So we're calling to, I like to say they know their names already, so we call their names. But what do we want? If you pick up the phone and call someone, you just kind of don't sit there. You actually want something. Either you want to give something or you want to receive something. So just feel about this sacred gathering when we call the folks in. What do we want? Do we want generational healing? Do we want acknowledgement? Do we need guidance from the elder? Or do we just need to heal this legacy, your own personal legacy? So libation is done with water. We have a glass of water here, and we also have a plant because it's about planting and seeding our new intentions that we're calling forth. So the ancestor realm is beneath us, but the ancestor realm is expansive. Once we let go of the body, then we have the capacity to enter into other dimensions and work as warriors to help in this realm in the way that we may not be able to do so with the body. So oftentimes it's, you know, a grief that happens but there's also a blessing that happens because now we got a team up there and that team just keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's grief that goes along with that, but trust, there's a divine order in the team that has shed the mortal coil because now they have weaponry and magic and medicine and healing that we can't get down here. Because energy never dies. It can only be recycled. Energy never dies. It can only be recycled. So those fallen soldiers, those fallen loved ones, trust me, they are on the other side and they're not happy about it. So because they're not happy about it, they're going to be able to come down and help us in ways that we may not be able to do in these physical bodies. So it's a win-win situation. It's win-win. And our ancestors knew that. Speaking specifically of those through the Middle Passage, those through any Holocaust, those through the Middle Passages were able to get through and navigate and still create the legacy that we all get to look at today. So I'm going to start out with pouring libation to the earth, because the earth is the oldest ancestor, the tree spirits, the stone spirits, the crystals that we're all calling on now that are at the core of the earth, the flower spirits, the different plant spirits that are making themselves available to us now so that we can stay grounded and focused and do our healing. Because the universe is alive. So when we connect with these ancestors, they help us to remember that we have the capacity to not only heal ourselves, but we have the capacity to change a new world. And when I culminate each section, we say Ashe. Ashe means, and so it is. It's from West Africa, Nigeria, and it just solidifies it. It means we're all in unity and we're all in this together. So please feel free to unmute yourself. So it feels good to hear the ashes. The word is ashe. So we're pouring libation for the earth as ancestor, the ancestor that we're surrounded by, the ancestor that we walk upon, the ancestor that is all giving, all loving, unconditionally, always feeding us, clothing us, housing us, healing us. We pour libation to that ancestor. Ashe.
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 Ashe. And next we've Ashe, there we go. So we pour libation to ourselves because often, even though we're all here, we're not all here. We're not 100% present. Some of us our minds are somewhere else. Our body may be in pain. We're holding on to generational trauma. So we're here, but we're not 100%. So we're going to call ourselves into the room because we are the outpicturing of all the ancestors that came before us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Let's call ourselves in at least 3 times. Call yourself in like you really want yourself to be present. Queen, queen, queen.
Kim.
Ashe.
Kim.
Gail.
Done.
Yes.
Ashe. Do you feel a little more present?
Yes.
Yeah, just get in the habit of calling yourself as ancestor in. As ancestor in. You are the blood of your ancestors. Walking, breathing, talking, embodiment. And next we pour libation for those that those ancestors that have actually were on this physical plane, but now they have transitioned to another dimension. but are still very much with us, those big mamas, those big daddies, those aunties, uncles, siblings. We call in their energy now. So if you can think of someone blood related or spirit related that you want to be present or that has accompanied you on this earthly journey, call their names in now. We just call their names in.
French, Mildred,
Ashe,
Grandma
Ashe,
Kathleen,
Ashe, Ashe,
Ashe.
Sophie May,
Ashe. There you go. Call them in. They want to be here.
Irene,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Eddie Mackins,
Ashe. We'll keep them coming. A few more, a couple more.
Chadwick Boseman,
There we
Real
go.
Tyler.
Ashe,
Francis,
Ashe. Oh, the chat it's getting full in here now. They just keep a couple more.
Bill Raskin,
Big Mama Hollins, Big Daddy Hollins, Enoch Barnes, Ashe.
And a wall.
And so we step into the meta, and if you didn't get a chance to call them in and you just feel their energy, someone comes through, just invite them because they're actually very present and need to be present for this level of conversation about them. We're talking about them. So we want to invite them intentionally. Okay. So we also want to pour libation for those that have were taken by police violence and those that were unjustly taken from the planet. We pour libation for them because we know that now they are in the ancestral realm and they are giving us counsel and guidance and information that we need to bring peace, freedom, and liberation on the planet. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. And lastly, we pour libation for those that have spiraled, that are spiraling down the cosmic skies to incarnate in the sacred womb of those that will carry these returned ancestors and bring them in a way that we clear a space, clean a space, free of generational trauma so that they can anchor, land, and create and contribute towards the new world that we are creating now, unencumbered by legacies of trauma and pain and all that goes with that. We clear that space and we pour libation so that that path is open and free of obstacles. Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
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 Ashe. So the room is packed now. We've invited the folks in, we've invited ourselves in, we've called on the past, the present, and the future, which hold the frequency of ancestor. We've honored it all. And so the space is open, the space is blessed, and our presence is anchored and ready to dream a new reality. Ashe.
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 And Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. Give thanks. Give thanks. We ready?
Ready.
We ready.
Ashe.
There we
Ready.
go. Ashe. Thank you.
Queen, we have a couple moments. I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about why it's important to tap into ancestry, even if we don't know our family or where we come from.
Okay.
Just any wisdom you can give us. And if folks have questions for Queen, please put it in the chat.
Okay. So the part where we had the percentage of people that don't know, I would say that you do know. You just haven't remembered, because we all walk with the blood of our ancestors in us. The whispers are in the DNA, the stories, the recipes, the healing modalities are in the DNA. And when we sit still, we begin to hear their voices. We're so, we just get discombobulated with media and technology, and we don't go to the forests and to the woods, which are, they just haven't been, they're just like an untapped resource that we have the capacity to go and connect with these ancestors. If we sit still, sit at the base of a tree and just listen. What we need to, we have to trust what we hear, trust what we feel, because I believe some of the people that may have said, I don't have, connection with it, you've probably heard the voices of some of them, but sometimes we're so used to dismissing. So that is a real dimension. It's just as real as this wonderful cup of chai tea. It's just as real. And so Big Mama sits on my left, Big Daddy sits on my right. They're there, they're my guiding counsel, and we all have them. You may say, well, what if my ancestors were horrible people? What if they did horrible things? And we lift them. Then we lift them. And then you get to start a new legacy, a new frequency of what you want to see. Okay, because energy never dies, so you can still bring that energy in. Another thing about ancestor, this really coming to me strong, is when if we have so many that are leaving the planet, we have to make sure that they leave in a good way. So it doesn't matter what your religious practice is, your spiritual preference. When our ancestors go, we make sure that we do certain blessings around them. We clean their bodies with oil and flowers and water. We bless their bodies to make sure that even though they may have taken a lot with them, we try to clean some of that off so that when they go into that new portal, they can go free. So we not only, what we do for them has a generational effect. And these things are just popping up, so I'm going to talk about them. They may not seem like they're in order, but trust me, the ancestors are whispering to me now. Folks that want to bring new life into the world, this is really important, because in the African tradition, the ancestor, the new baby that comes through is the ancestor returned. That is African traditional indigenous African belief. So we want to really make sure that we take care of the womb space, clean it, clear it, do the necessary energetic clearing, so when that child does come in, that they're not coming into generational trauma, which is oftentimes held in that space. It's held in the womb. And even if you don't want to bring life in, still clean that frequency, because we still give birth to it in other ways. We give birth to it and through our through anger, through sadness, through depression, through mental illness. It's still it's still manifest in some way. They're also saying that the ancestors treat them as if it is a reality. Some of us, we have, pictures of our ancestors up. We create ancestor altars, and the ancestor altar can go across into any tradition. The ones that we use specifically are from African tradition. We put a picture of them up when they leave. We light a candle, put a little flower up. So that is a space where, now that you have departed from the physical plane, now I get to have a relationship with you in the spiritual realm. And sometimes it gets even better there. I got along much better with my dad when he went to the spirit realm. Okay, we did a lot of healing. We could not do it in person. We're too much alike. Yeah. So once he went, he came to the dream time. He came with messages. He, made amends. There were lots of things that happened. So it is an ending in this physical form, but it's also a beginning in the spiritual form. And I think indigenous people have forgotten that we walk in a duality world, that we have to honor the spirit as well as we do our physical body. Because how often do we get up and look in the mirror and say, oh, look at you, you're amazing, you're so beautiful, spirit, I love you so much. Got quiet in here, didn't it? See, what happens is we go in, we get to looking, ooh, I get to get rid of that wrinkle. How did this pimple come overnight? Oh, I need the airbrush. We get caught up. And then we don't have an opportunity to really feed that spirit. And the spirit, you need to be in the spirit to connect with the ancestor. You need to get in that realm. So when I hear people talk about ancestor, they want to go deeper. They want to go deeper than an ancestor altar. They want to go deeper than just calling them at libation. They want to be there when you say, Big Mama, I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. And you will feel the presence of them. It could almost make me cry, because we have resources that we've not been able to connect to. We've only gotten on the surface of it.
Yeah.
So you can call, and if your big mama was mean to you, call somebody else's big mama that's gone over. There's big mamas waiting over there to be utilized. They want to share their knowledge. They want to share their wisdom, and they want to get it right. Sometimes they didn't get it right in the physical form. My grandmother has given me so many herbal prescriptions. It's unbelievable. from the other side. She was a shaman, Sha woman. So we have to begin to create that world as if it exists because it is real. It is a real world. And when we came over, speaking of the Holocaust of Black people right now through the Middle Passage, and honoring all the Middle Passages that all the indigenous people have been through, but now specifically, we were told that that ancestor worship was hocus pocus, and who are you talking to? There's nobody there. So we began to believe that. We began to buy into that.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, who's Christ? Christ is one of the most well-known ancestors on the planet. Okay, so we have to reconnect. And also Christ was the example, not the exception. Okay, we all have the capacity to connect with our ancestors in that same way.
Thank you so much, Queen.
Yes. Okay, I can keep going, Melissa. So you have to
You are in it.
you have to stop me. Okay.
You're in the flow.
I was telling Kim, this is my thing right here. I love talking about those ancestors. So the one thing grateful. I'll leave you with is to sit at the base of a tree, take an offering, always give back to nature. You know, take some molasses or something that you think the earth might like. And just sit and listen and say, I really want to remember. I want to remember. Okay, because nobody can do that for you. Even somebody can help you initiate, but that you are the one who initiates yourself because you have to cross that portal. So set the intention. We're in the springtime. It's time for new beginnings, new openings. This is the perfect time. If you have not connected with them, or if you want a deeper connection, this is the perfect time because the universe is supporting new life, new relationships, new birth right now. So sit at the base of a tree, make your offering, take your journal with you, sit and listen and trust what you know. Trust what you hear. They will begin to talk with you. Even if you're adopted, it doesn't matter. You have it in your bloodline. They're in your bloodline, so you're not alone. We are never alone. And that's the last thing I'm probably going to leave you with. We're never alone.
Love that. Thank you so much. And you'll see that the image we used in our flyer was a tree. Just, that concept of connecting with our roots and our heritage. Yes. So thank you so much, Queen. Please show some emojis to appreciate Queen. We really want this space to be a space that embraces intergenerational experiences. And so we are so grateful for you to be here with your wisdom and to connect us to our history.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yes, yes.
Honored to be here.
Thank you. We are going to bring up Ashley. Ashley is the CEO and founder of the Swazi Shop. She is one of our newest members and supporters of Be Well. So we're going to get her up here. I just want to acknowledge, Be Well is full of so many different types of folks who are either impacted by mental health challenges, like myself. I deal with depression and anxiety, and they're healers. They may also be involved in healthcare practices and in the healthcare industry. We've got social workers, we've got nurses, we've got holistic healers. Today, you're going to meet a yogi who's an acupuncturist. I mean, we've just got the whole gamut. Just wanted to acknowledge Kim. Thank you for starting us off this morning. Kim is also a healer. She's a mom, a yoga teacher, part of Black Lives Matter Long Beach, and has been part of the healing justice community in Long Beach and LA for several years. So she has yoga every Saturday morning at 9. We'll have to share that information later, Kim, for folks who want to be part of that space. You can find Queen at the Earth Lodge Transformational Center. We'll be sure to share that link again in the chat. And then we're bringing up Ashley. So Ashley, is a not life alchemist. That's Angelique coming up. So many healers. Ashley's the owner of Swazi Shop. It's an Afrocentric holistic health company that promotes healing of the mind, body, and soul. And she's going to lead us in some affirmations and talk to us about healing ourselves. So thanks, Ashley.
Yes, thank you for that amazing introduction. I'm just so grateful to be here and know that there's a space like this. I feel like, I don't know what's happening energetically in the world right now, but honestly, I feel like the grace, and I feel like it's very much, there's a recall to those to come back to their throne. And I feel like it's one of the most important things for to even do that. We have to acknowledge our ancestors. So as like, before I even get into that, I want to introduce myself. I am Ashley. I am the owner of Afrocentric, like a holistic Afrocentric wellness company where I sell all natural skincare, women's products. Like I heard Miss Queen talking about the importance of cleansing our wombs, and I provide yoni steams, also vaginal oils, and then in addition to that, a bulk herb set to help people start on their all natural cleansing, really just journey, because it really is a journey. Beyond just providing products, because the mission of the Swy Shop is not just products, it's a lifestyle company. It's really my entire MO with it is I'm all about promoting health, happiness, and abundance with perfect self-expression through the tools of love, knowledge, and respect for ourselves, so we can actually have that for others. Because you can't love nobody if you don't love yourself. You can't know nobody unless you know yourself. You can't respect nobody unless you respect yourself. And whenever I talk about self, I'm literally a combination of everything and nothing simultaneously, just at my own unique combination. I am a representation of God, and all that comes from the lineage of the creator of all creators down to me. And in the midst of that gap between God and me is my ancestry and also my spiritual team. This is when people would talk about orishas and guardian angels and all that. And those are definitely a part of your spiritual lineage from my studies and my perspective. But one of the major keys to even being able to I don't want to say be spiritual, or like for my journey, has been connecting with my ancestry. Just to kind of go into like my journey with connecting with my ancestry, I was very much raised in a traditional Caribbean household where like I also even went to a private Christian school. So if anything, the idea of ancestral acknowledgement, nevertheless, I don't want to say the word worship because that has like a connotation, but I'll say acknowledgement and gratitude and giving of thanks. It was a bit, at first I would say, oh, it was a bit taboo, but honestly, I feel like all Black people naturally, if you ever go to an elder's household, there's going to be a wall with all the family members with a million stories behind them. That was our form of acknowledging our ancestors. But as I got deeper into my spiritual journey and understanding myself and honoring all aspects of me, including my lineage on an ancestral level, it really inspired me to acknowledge and honor my ancestors in more of an intentional and intimate means. And that path for me started with the passing of my father. My father passed when I was a sophomore in college. I'm now a graduate from Cal State Long Beach, CSULB. And it was devastating. My father was literally my best friend. Like, if you were to ever see my father, you would understand who I am. And with his passing, I can say I was already on my tip towards spirituality. It's like, I want my life to be driven by love and truth and respect. And with that, with him passing, it was just kind of like, this is the last leg, because either I'm like, I have to find a way to fill my soul and mend it, because I feel like I just lost a part of me. But with losing him physically, I gained him spiritually, and it helped me regain my entire person, my whole being, on a mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, every level, galactically, interdimensionally. I feel like I found myself, and my father was able to be my guide, as he was one of my honorable ancestors that I was the most connected with. And with acknowledging my father, I found myself acknowledging my grandmother, my grandfather, my grand uncles and aunts. And it, like, with understanding who they were, it made it that much more clear about who I am, and understanding that, like, from an ancestral standpoint, honestly, the light and glory, and sometimes the darkness and pain that I live with, and I have that active choice to process. You feel me? Can I get like an ashe or a snap?
Ashe.
Ashe.
So with that process,
Ashe.
thank you. A major thing with me, I'm all about finding, like, bringing God and creation together, because I'm a co-creator. I always like to say, I'm God too. God's the hand, I'm the thumb. So I'm a part of this. And recognizing that I have certain access to the ability to create, maintain, and destroy through my intention. And the way that I bring my intention, my thoughts, and my words to life is a lot through reading and affirmations. And this brings me to, I have like a little cute mini PowerPoint. I'm going to share my screen right now and to talk about the power of affirmation and prayers. So when it comes to our words are literally spells. It's like, you know what, today I'm going to eat waffles. That's like a spell in itself, because like I just took an inclination that was in the ether somewhere, and then my body felt that in my waters. So in my emotions, my energy that's in motion, that guided my air, which my thoughts that made me have this thought. And now that I was in my head, I have a million other thoughts going on. I could talk about how I need to put air in my tires. But at that moment, I said, you know what? I am going to take this thought and put it through my earth and activate it through fire. So my energy, because when you die, you become cold, because that's your fire, that's your vitality, that's your life. And I brought life to this idea and made it my truth, and say, I want waffles. So I always say, like, your whole body is an altar. Your whole body is a representation of every element that makes life. So that's why you have to be so mindful of what you say, because with this, literally this ritual of speech, you bring life to ideas. And sometimes we have to be mindful about the ideas that we bring life to. And this brings me to affirmations. Repetition is key. I'm even a speech, outside of like being spiritual in the Biz-Wise shop, I'm a speech therapist. And whenever I'm trying to help kids learn new words and verbiage, it's literally repetition. I'll say cat, 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 cat 10,000 times in a session, just so they can practice a C. So imagine if you're trying to practice self-love. Imagine if every day that you say, oh, you're going to criticize that wrinkle on your face, that pimple, that spot, or this. And these are statements or spells that cast a negative cloak on who your entire being is, versus saying, I am beautiful, I am worthy of love. And saying that so many times that at the end of the day, everything and nothing is true. So what truth are you going to give life to? And that's the life that you're going to live. So tying this in with the aspect of our ancestors, it brings me to this amazing book called Rashik Medkemetic Reiki. Is anyone familiar with what Reiki is? Ooh, sister.
Yes.
Ooh, tell us a little bit about it.
Are you speaking to Dale?
I don't know who I'm speaking to.
Oh,
but
all righty. So I'm Dale, and I did say yes. And the little bit I know about it is that it's a way of having maybe non-touching massage, where the various, I would guess you would call them energies in you, are being rerouted and unblocked. That's my way of explaining it.
And that's a beautiful way to explain it. And just so I can add off of it, for me, I'm actually a Reiki master. So I've gone through all the levels and trainings to be able to actually teach other people Reiki. I just tend to be low key with my like spiritual services, because like, if you know. But with this book, like from my training, also what I learned from this book, it taught me a lot about, like, Reiki is tapping into your ethereal spiritual level, and everything comes from spirit. Everything comes from God. Everything comes from, that dimension. And then the way that I feel like the ebb and flow of existence starts, everything starts with spirit, which is one of the elements. Then it goes into your waters, which is more receptive to more subtle movement, like that's more receptive to subtle movement. So your waters is your emotions that tend to move the direction of your thoughts. Because even if you look at the concept of wind literally comes from the waves that come from the ocean, and the ocean's waves are determined by the position of the moon. So it's like, and what is the moon recognized in like astrology? That's like the astral body of our feelings. So with our emotions swaying the directions of our thoughts tends to define the behaviors and actions of our earth, that's enacted through our fire that creates our environment. So I always tell people like, hey, if you need to get your life together, start on a spiritual level, like, and then everything else will trickle down. If you have mental health, it's like, you know what, bust a prayer out real quick. And then maybe you might come across the right mental health therapist that will help you, that will inspire you to have a different type of diet, that will inspire you to have different actions, that will change your entire environment. But it's like, everything in existence starts with the creator, starts with the creation, starts with God, however you want to see it, the universe. Because the idea of even light, sometimes if you ask me, light is just a direction and darkness is just the everywhere that it could point towards. Like you could be anywhere. So if you have the opportunity to do and be anything you want, just choose the direction and you'll go be there. So that's what this book taught me, the power of addressing spirit to then be able to have more, you can have dominion over your emotions, your thoughts, your physical body, and then also your actions and turn your reality. And therefore you hit a tip of God consciousness where you become a co-creator of what happens in your own world. So I'm gonna actually, away from just having this presentation, I'll be posting these images on my Instagram. So please follow the Swadi Shop at theswadishop.com, which I'll put in the, at the Swadi Shop on Instagram to have access to these images. But the next image I'm going to show are liberation prayers. This book provides 4 awesome liberation prayers that are amazing to connect with yourself and kind of purge your timeline of a lot of karma and energy that needs to be removed. And is asking for forgiveness for things that you've committed, that your bloodline committed, and what other people have done against you, and even what just the species of human beings in existence had done wrong for the separation that we experience. So I'm going to just read through these briefly, just so we can just embrace the power of them, and then move on from there. Do we have enough time for that, Melissa? I would hate to go over my time.
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes,
have a little
just
bit of time. Yeah, I'll check back with you in a second in the chat.
yeah, about 3 to 4 minutes. Thanks.
Oh, all right. Recognize we got 3 to 4 minutes. I will be posting this on Instagram. Please check them out at your leisure, but I want to go to the ancestor prayer. So this is the prayer for yourselves. Anyone? All right, so right here, prayer number 3. This is for the ancestors. Recognizing I do have 3 minutes, I'll just focus on this mainly. Prayer number 3 and prayer number 4. But there's a lot of power in ancestral prayers. I can say for me and my bloodline, love my family, but being of African descent and recognizing that literally a lot of our, those of our descent tend to go through so much trauma and pain that's really even above us, but that has been instilled into our bloodlines through systematic approaches to disconnect us from the source of life that we know, which is nature and God. It's just, there's so much healing that has to be done. And me and my cousin witnessed that. And we decided to sit down and do ancestral prayers and sincerely pray over our family. And I can say after that prayer, we recognized an entire domino effect that seemed like it kind of made the family go a little awire, but it's resulted into more of a realistic, healthy experience with everyone interacting with ourselves, where we're actually having conversations of having a family reunion after COVID slows down, when that barely was ever a conversation. So I'm just saying that's how these prayers have worked in my life. And I feel as if it can impact it can impact the lives of others with the right intention. So the first prayer is the prayer number 3 for our ancestors. Is for anyone on earth or in the spirit world for whom my ancestors have knowingly or unknowingly hurt. So now we're over here apologizing for the acts of our ancestors so we can clear up the karma line, clear out the energetic bloodline for my future generations and even our current generation, yourself. So sometimes you gotta even apologize so you can be liberated of whatever was onto them. It's because my ancestors don't have the energy in the spirit world to grow easily by directly making amends for their wrongs, I, being still on earth and having this necessary energy, must take responsibility to help liberate them of accusations from sin so they can be free to grow higher and become one with the Most High. So even the idea of I'm sorry, I can go off on this, but I realize that I'm a descendant of my ancestry, and that I, through spiritual inheritance, bear a proportion of responsibility for my ancestors' sins. Unless they are liberated, I and my family cannot be free from accusation and thus temptation and invasion from the negative spirit world, nor be free to totally become one with the Creator. I realize I'm taking responsibility for my ancestors' sins by praying for any and all the people who are on earth or in the spirit world for whom my ancestors are guilty of hurting. I sincerely pray for all the people who my ancestors in spirit world knowingly and unknowingly hurt during their earthly timelines. I ask for content and energy for my prayers on behalf of my ancestors to go to these people to comfort, educate, and liberate them. I ask that these prayers will heal them of any negative thoughts of feelings that they bear because my ancestors. I'm sincerely sorry, and I apologize on behalf of my ancestors. There's so much power in healing and apologies. I feel like this period. So that prayer in general, just even saying it right now, was just so empowering. And so will the second one, which literally talks about praying for the ancestors to provide them just liberation and all the fulfillment that they need and the education they need to heal whatever wounds that they need. So honoring our ancestors also means healing our ancestors, because at the day, one day you're going to be an ancestor. And I bet you, if you're already aware about what's going on in your world, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of individuals that are within your lineage who had the same baggage. And guess what? You're carrying that bag too. Let it go, not just for you, but for them and for those who are to come. And the difference will show because you'll be close in alignment with the Most High. Ooh, there's a question.
Oh no, sorry, that was by accident.
Oh, okay. So yeah. Well, that's it mainly from my spiel. Follow like the Instagram for the Fly Shop. I've been granted by the city of Long Beach to send out multiple care packages. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Ashley, are you still going to have a distribution tomorrow of COVID care packages?
I was planning on it, and then I realized it's Easter, so I just recommend everyone to come visit the Swire Shop website, and I'll be having multiple distribution dates throughout the year, or like throughout the month.
Okay, so if folks are local in the Long Beach area and would like a COVID care kit from the Swazi shop, please message me in the chat your email address, and that way I can get back to you with when the next distribution will be. This is part of a grant that Ashley has received and other folks in the community to get out COVID care kits and information resources and things to help us stay healthy, which brings me to our next poll. We're curious to know, since a lot of what we've been doing here with Be Well has been in response to COVID and the uprisings, curious to know, where are folks with the COVID vaccine? How do you feel? What are you thinking about it? Did you get the vaccine? Did you get the first one already, the first shot? Are you not going to get it, or are you not sure? So check out the poll that's just been launched and let us know, where do folks stand right now around the COVID vaccine? Thank you so much, Ashley, for your presentation, and folks, check her out online. You know, young enterprising woman. She's got a small business and super creative, lots of passion for the community and for health. So please do follow her on, actually, if you put your Instagram in the chat as well, so folks can know where to find you. Yeah. And just a couple more seconds, we'll leave the chat up for a couple more seconds. And we are getting ready for our next healer, who is Angelique. She is a life alchemist. She serves as a guide for others that wish to transform their life through incorporating various holistic modalities to transmute negative energy, heal, restore, balance within the mind, body, and spirit. Angelique is going to share a few mantras and teach us how to call in our ancestors with drums and music. So Angelique, are you ready?
Mm-hmm. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, Ashley. Looking for Angelique here. She's still in the space? There she is. All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I was speaking, but didn't realize I was on mute. So thank you so much. I give thanks to you, Ashley, for all your knowledge and what you've shared. I give thanks to Kim and to Queen for the pouring of libations and the land acknowledgement, because all of that is in alignment with what we are talking about in connecting with our ancestors, honoring our ancestors, being able to have that intimate relationship with them, and being able to really transmute and heal the generational traumas, or change and shift the trajectory of the generations to come, so to speak. So I am Empress Angelique. I'm a life alchemist. Thank you, Melissa, for the beautiful introduction. So today I am going to just really touch on how we honor our ancestors through music, through drums, through chants, through vibration, through movement, through different aspects. So I have an altar, an ancestor altar space. This is not my personal ancestor altar, but I put together a kind of like what an ancestor altar can look like, so that you, when your prayer, like the beautiful prayer that Ashley gave, was absolutely phenomenal. So how we are able to connect with our ancestors, ancestral altars, and your altar space can look any number of ways, but there are some things that you want to be able to do and not do when you have your ancestor altar. Your ancestor altar should always be just for your ancestors. It should not be mixed with intention altars or other things, or collage of all these things that sits on it, because we want to honor, it's our gateway of communication with them. Is one of many gateways, I should say, because our gateways always are our body temple, our altar space, who we are, and also connecting to nature, being out next to a tree or by the ocean. I love going to the ocean and giving offerings, and just really honoring our ancestors at the ocean. But here's just a mock of what an ancestor altar would look like, at least for me. This is what it would look like. And typically what I do is I use sound, I use chant, I use music, I use drums, staffs, different things. So I have a hand drum. That has this deep resonance in it. And there's just something that's just so beautiful about the drum and that connection to being able to communicate with our ancestors. So first and foremost, let me just share what I have here on the altar is a few things. And I know that, like Queen was saying, that sometimes people say, well, I don't have a picture of my ancestor, or I don't know who my ancestor is. You can still develop that relationship, because your ancestor, your lineage is a part of you, is in us, is a part of our DNA. You may not consciously know, but from a spiritual, from a internal level, you know your ancestors are with you, they're around you, they're giving you messages, they're giving you, communicating with you in a number of different ways. It could be from an animal totem, it can be through number sequences, it could be through messages in dreams, it could be through song that just popped in your head and you're like, why is this song popping in my head? Those are different ways in which they can communicate. But the way that we can communicate from my perspective is I have an altar space specifically for my ancestors. When I sit and I give gratitude and I give thanks to them, I have on my space, I have like tobacco, I have incense. So like if you don't do tobacco or anything, you can burn incense, and always have it in an incense holder. I have a white cloth. Never put any dark cloth, but a white cloth or a bright colored, light colored cloth. I have a rose quartz crystal to show them that I love them, I honor them, I'm appreciative of them. I give food offerings as well. Nothing that's rotten, nothing that is, if it's going bad, remove it and put something new. If you do not know or have a picture of your ancestor, you can write their name down on a piece of paper and put that on your altar space. Or you can simply, if you don't really know their name, so to speak, you can put "to my love and my blood ancestors from lineages before me." I also always have water because that's part of the offering. I have a symbol that is of their religion. I have a symbol of my religion, but like for my great grandma, Mama Moore, she was a devout Baptist woman. We went to church Mount Zion every Sunday. Matter of fact, we went Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday. We were in church at Mount Zion, and she was very devoted to her Baptist beliefs. And so I have a cross that I like to put that for her, and I always place that either in the water or in front of the water, because the water is a way of clearing, a way of amplifying, a way of connection. Water is life, and there is still life in the spiritual realm. It's just they're in that ancestral realm. We're here in the physical realm. So it's a form of connection with them. So I put that. I also have raw. I have an ankh here because that's my particular, one of my beliefs. I call in before I pray. I always have something that's a noise, like I have a bell, or I use a drum, depending on who I'm speaking with. From my grandfather, who is of Choctaw Nation, of Oklahoma, Choctaw. He is a part, he's just very much a part of me. He's very close to me, along with Mama Moore and my Nana Rosina. So when I'm honoring him, I always have my shamanic drum, and I begin to use my drum to drum that in. So I do that, called in with a sound before. I also have a plant here for pouring of libation. So I use my aloe vera plant. It started off where it was just one, but it's been growing tremendously. I have a bowl of sweets, cup of libation, which is a clear, more like rum or vodka or something. I have coffee as well. I do fresh flowers. Whenever the flowers are beginning to wilt or anything, I remove it. I put a different fresh flower, nothing with thorns on it, nothing along those lines, but something that's bright and lively, and keeping it fresh and nice. Like sunflowers are great. And if you do put roses, make sure there's no thorns on the roses, nothing with thorns on it. I have candles in which I light as well, but always putting it in a candle holder because you don't want it to overspill or anything. And then I have things that are specific, like that was passed down or given to me from my grandmother. And I keep molasses, and it's funny because when Queen spoke about molasses and giving that as an offering when you're in a tree, I keep molasses on my ancestral altar. And when I go to the ocean or I go into nature and I'm sitting to honor them in the earth, in the elements, in nature, I always give water and I give molasses as an offering to that. So why do we have these elements? We have these elements because it's our way of connecting to them. It's our way of showing gratitude. It's our way of being able to build that relationship with them because they are still a part of us. They're still around us. They're still there protecting us and guiding us. And so we want to honor them. We want to give love to them. We want to send love to them in a way of thanking them for all that they have been through. We also want to help them in terms of if they had a tough life or if there's been trauma, help to mend and transmute that trauma and shift it so that they can feel loved and at peace within the ancestral realm. So I love to do that with drums. I love to do that with music. And I'm going to play a song that when I'm getting ready to just tap in and sit and pray with them, I love to just sit for a moment and I put this on. And this is a song that puts me almost like in a meditative state where I'm thinking of them. I have the vision of them if I know what they look like. I have their name, or I'm just holding space within my heart space, within my mind, my third eye, within my womb. So I usually have like my right hand on my heart and my left hand over my womb space, so that I'm sitting there with my altar, and I begin to play this song to just really connect. And it's a gungun, and this is by Ella Andal, and this drums. And I invite you to sit right now, take a deep breath in through your nose, and just sit. You can dance along with it and just think about and connect to your ancestor. And listen to the rhythms and the rhythmic drumming, and just begin to imagine and just be in this element. And so you're grounding yourself in this space of that connection with your ancestors, giving gratitude and thanks. And whatever your spiritual beliefs are, there are different types of music and different types of drums and different types of chants that you can use in order to connect with them. So just listen to them. So during the shelter in place, I've actually lost weight. So sorry about that. So with that, that was just a little bit. That was just a little bit of. Oops. Let me get back to that. So listening to this, and whatever it is, I also like to play music that is close to my ancestors and music that they like. But just listen to the words and the chants. Do you feel that? Do you feel how deep that resonance of the songs and everything? It's this connection through words, through the song, and what they're saying in these chants, what they're saying in this song is their prayers to our ancestors. They're honoring our ancestors. They're giving thanks. They're saying that we appreciate you. We love you. We understand all that you sacrifice, all that you have done for our bloodline, from our love ancestors and our blood ancestors. We hear you. We feel you. We know that you're around, and we're here to honor you in every way that we can. We are here to be that light, to continue on that legacy, to continue on moving forward and being able to give the generations to come so that they are living a life of peace and abundance, and still feeling that connection with our ancestors from times past. I always say I have a deep, deep, deep ancestral connection that goes back through spans of time, and we all do. We have our blood ancestors and our love ancestors. And what I mean by that is our blood ancestors are those who are within our lineage, those who are part of our blood line. But then our love ancestors are those who have been with us, who have walked from lifetime to lifetime, from different past lives, or those who have been with us in our life that may have passed and transitioned on into the ancestral realm, but they had a profound impact on you. They were with you in times of your needs, in times of that. You can honor them. You can honor, I also have on my ancestral altar, I have my pet, my dog who passed on. That was a part of our family. Our dog Frodo was with us for 15 years. So he was a deep part of our family. So we have a collection of a picture, a frame that we honor him on his birthday, on his day of transition. We honor him in every way that we can. So you can honor so many different, there are so many aspects to our ancestors in that honoring. And that honoring, a part of that is through being able, through prayer, through chants, through song, through drums, through dance, and through movement, and just really being able to connect with that. But the most important thing is to let them know that we love them. Carrying that memory, even if you can't have an altar, if you don't have an altar space like this, the altar space that you create in your mind of the memories and that connection, you can turn on music and just sit in prayer, sit in nature, go to the tree, go out into your front yard in the grass and just put your feet into the soil, and being able to just connect with them and honor them in that way. Going to the ocean, if you're near an ocean, or any number, there's just so many different things that you can do. So I know that I have a couple more minutes. So what I want to share now is through that drumming. And I want to just, we went and had the song, but I want to just leave you with this. The words that you speak, you can create your own mantra, your own chant for your ancestor. You can write it out and say, I honor you. I give thanks to you. Thank you for your light. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your love and your protection. Thank you for your just being who you are. And for those who may have transitioned in a tragic way, then just let them know that we're happy that you are in peace. We send you peace, and we send you love. We send you gratitude. We understand that your transition may have been tragic, but we are here loving you. We send you love to transmute that tragedy into a loving place. And the way that I usually like to do is I like to just sit in. So now I just want to invite you to close your eyes and envision the ancestor that you called in earlier and during our libation, and just really connect with them and let them know that you are grateful. Let them know that you're sending them love. That you send energy of peace and continue blessings. That you appreciate them. So hold that love vibration. Hold that positive intention. Taking a deep breath in and giving thanks. We give thanks for their life. We feel you, we honor you, we give thanks to you. Yeah. I think that is my time. And for those who would like assistance and would like specific, like the words that were in the song, the chants, the mantras, what you can do is you can reach out to me on Instagram at Be Elevated Now. You can also go to my website, or you can contact me. If you go to my website, you can contact me via email or via text message, and I will be happy to send you the information, like the different types of prayers, the different types of mantras, the different types of chants that you can have, and some songs as well that you can connect to. There are some really deep, beautiful songs that are out there that you can play on Spotify. I have a Spotify list that I will be happy to share with you as well. So I give thanks and appreciation for all of you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being who you are. I give thanks and honor each of your ancestors, your love ancestors, your blood ancestors, who is with us today, who is with us every day throughout this time, as we're shifting the energy, as we are healing generational traumas and healing the different aspects within our daily lives. So I honor you, I give thanks to you, and with that, I am done.
Thank you, Angelique. That was a lovely drumming meditation. So it is my great pleasure. Am I off mute? Yes. It is my great pleasure to introduce our final healer for today. He's also a friend, Dr. Rufus Fuller, aka Blakwatter. Dr. Fuller became a massage therapist in 2000, which allowed him to strengthen his ability to connect and create the environment for healing. He is also a certified yoga instructor and will lead us in a guided meditation with some movement. Please welcome Dr. Fuller, aka Blakwatter.
Good morning. How are we all? How was our experience of the morning? How's our experience of the morning? How are you?
We are
Are you all-
well.
Great, we are well. I am
I
well.
am honored to be a part of this. It's wonderful. I've had the opportunity to tune in from the very beginning. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. What's the sister with Ashley, with our Angie, with the Swazi shop? Thank you, Angelique. And I'm here. Can we hear it? Can we hear me? Can you guys hear me? Am I coming through clearly?
Yes, we're
Hear
hearing
you.
you loud and clear.
Awesome. So, and then listen, I'm coming behind three phenomenal women, so I'm honored. It's such an honor. But we are here, and I want to start with understanding that. Well, you know, I know we talked about our ancestor journey and our connection with ancestors. Yes, as most Black families, I was raised in a Christian church where you don't really acknowledge the ancestors, but you do because you're Black, you're African descendant. So you do honor the ancestors, but it's not really labeled as such, and it's not really given the proper honor and respect. We don't do that for our ancestors. We do it, but we don't. But my journey into understanding ancestor was when I was like 9 years old and my grandmother passed, and I feared death. I feared death so much. Then I remember crying for about 2 days because I understood mortality when she passed. But what that led me to do is understand mortality. And I understood that we would all perish. And that meant something to me because that was my aha moment. I um, realized that this is what it means to be mortal. This is what it means to have a body, is that we will pass into another realm. And sure enough, once I opened myself up to that, I felt the presence of my grandmother ever since. I felt the presence of all of my ancestors as they have passed, and have understood my place in this collective lineage, and understand that I am an ancestor reincarnated, and that I am not this body, I'm spirit. So there's nothing to worry about. We are here to live and express ourselves in this moment, take the lessons, and return to the spirit. And so that has given me such peace, such profound peace. And it is true, as Queen said, they have so much more wisdom as in the ancestral realm, in the spirit realm. They have so much more wisdom to offer us. So it's important that we acknowledge their presence, and let's keep them in the room. And I'm glad they're in the room with us now in all of our spaces collectively. And that's just an amazing thing, because we're transmitting through an internet, something that we can't visibly see it, but it allows us to be connected. So why should we not understand that the spirit realm is a real thing? It allows us to be connected. We can't see it all the time, but we can feel it all the time. It's always with us. Our ancestors are always with us. And we, even if we are not familiar with how to acknowledge them, hopefully our lessons today have allowed us to be a little more still so that we can hear the ancestors. And so this is what our practice is about: being still. Being still. We can't acknowledge our ancestors. We can't clear the space. We can't heal ourselves unless we are still. We have so many distractions. We have so many distractions in our world. And that's why we don't hear, is because so much noise, background noise, is preventing us from actually being still, realizing that we are two ancestors, that we are too connected to the spirit, that we are not these bodies, we are spirits having this human experience. We're only connected to this body for a short amount of time. Energy is neither gained nor destroyed. We are spirit. We are something greater than these bodies. And when we understand that, we can do the healing necessary in this lifetime, so that when we move forward, we understand our lineage and we get to enjoy our experiences. Ashe? We're going to
Ashe.
start. We're going to start to really get into this body. Okay, to get into this body. The noise that we hear, the pain that we're in, the emotional things that we go through, we can lock into our bodies. And in fact, I would argue that that is part of what these physical bodies are for, are kind of a storage unit for these experiences in our lives. And so what happens sometimes is we connect too much to this experience, that we don't allow ourselves to experience it and move forward, to experience it in its entirety. And we develop a narrative based around how we feel in this body, which is temporary, but we think it's permanent. So let us center into this body so that we can release all of those energies, so that we can live more complete, and so that we can reconnect with our ancestors. We can reconnect with our true selves. So we begin. We're going to begin. We're going to sit tall, spine straight. Good. Sit up. We've been in this Zoom meeting for a while. In fact, let's reset entirely. Everybody up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. There we go. Let's shake it out. Shake out the body. Bounce it out. Shake it out. You got to participate now. You can't just be in your car. You can't be cooking right now. You can't be doing whatever it is you're doing. You got to shake it out. There you go. Big breath in. Exhale. Big breath in. Exhale. Big breath in. Exhale. Now we can return to our seat, spine straight, and we will continue with that audible release. We like that. Good. We're going to start with our lungs, lung sound. Lung sound. We're going to start with our lungs. Why? Because our lungs are how we interact with the world. The lungs are and connected with the large intestine. This information was brought to me by Michael Frost, PhD, Dr. Frost, and he was a student of Mantak Chai. So the information that that we're working with is his information. Information also comes from Dr. Matul Ashby, does a lot of work on Egyptian Kemetic yoga. So here we go. We're going to start with the lung sound, the lung, large intestine, the energy, the emotions tied with the lungs, large intestines. The negative emotion is grief and sadness. So if you're experiencing grief and sadness at any time, you can practice these movements to release that energy. We can also look for the lungs in its strength emotions are righteousness and courage, how we approach the world, how we interact with the world, and courage. So let us begin. Lung sounds. Lung sound is, got that? Like the air being let out of a tire, like the air being let out of a balloon. Here's our movement attached. We said sit tall. We inhale. Palms to our heart, to our lungs. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands all the way down. Inhale, focusing on our lungs. Exhale. Big breath in. And release. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. And relax. We're going to do it 3 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Any grief relating to anyone passing in our family, inhale. Exhale. Any sadness, let it go. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Place the hands to the lap. 3 deep breaths here. Breathe it in. Experience the lungs. Color associated with the lungs is white. So if you feel like you need a little extra healing there, imagine a white light clearing the lungs out. To give the lungs enough space, we want to inhale, allowing the belly button to move out, pulling the diaphragm down, opening up the lungs. And as we exhale, allow the belly button to move in towards the spine. Very good. Next organ system we'll focus on is the kidneys. The kidneys and the bladder are connected systems. And a negative emotion related with kidneys is fear. The positive emotion with the kidneys is gentleness, alertness, kindness. The kidneys are also responsible for our will. Our will. So it's different ways to do this, but the way I would like to do it is take our hands to our lower back. Any pain in the lower back can be addressed with this movement. And I'm going to give you a sideways version of it because my hands are on my lower back. Hands at the lower back. Take a big breath in. The sound associated with the kidneys is sound like water. Think of the ocean as it moves back and forth along the coast. Big breath in. And as we exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale. Inhale, breathe up. Imagining the kidneys. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe up. Any fear you may have about the future? Where do we go next? The vaccine, the virus? Find your peace with it. Inhale, breathe up. The kidneys are responsible for delivering our ancestral DNA. The kidneys hold the essence. So our kidneys are a connection to our lineage. And our kidneys are how we will continue our lineage, the energy, our sexual energy. It's related to our kidneys, comes from our kidneys. So we'll go 2 more times. Hands on our lower back, paying attention to our kidneys. Back problems, knee problems, all related to the kidneys. Even our problems, challenges we have, thinking, are related to the kidneys. Breathe up. Spine straight, hands to our knees. Big breath in. Big exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe it in. And exhale. Now this next movement is related to our liver, and in our society, we have a very livery society. Liver, color associated with the liver is green. The season is the springtime. So we know it's about beginnings, it's about expansion, it's about self-expression, the liver is. But it's also, if it's not balanced, if the energy is not moving, it also is a place for our anger to live, our anger, our frustrations, our just ability to, our will to try to destroy and conquer. It's all related to our liver energetic system. okay? So in order to tap into ourselves, we have to make sure this energy is moving and not being stored in one area. Our liver houses our hun. Our hun is our soul, and that's the soul that when we sleep, and that's why sleep is so important. It's when we sleep, we go back to our spirit. And so we need to sleep so that we can restore ourselves. Because when we made a contract, when we came here, we said, yeah, I'm going to spiral down and I'm going to find the host and I'm going to do the work. But, please let me come back. And so we go back to that spirit world as we dream, as we sleep. And so this is where the liver comes in, and this is the energy that the liver stores. And it should be used for our expression, our self-expression. That's why we're here. But oftentimes, if we don't express ourselves the way we feel we should, if we don't have that opportunity to truly realize ourselves, a lot of frustration of African descendants is the realization that we cannot, in America, is that we cannot truly express ourselves and be our true selves because of the system has tried to strip away our identity in so many different ways and try to belittle our greatness in so many different ways. So it's in our liver. So here we go. We're gonna locate the liver, right? We're gonna locate that organ, the liver, and it's this area of the body, our ribs, our lower ribs, and it's also the sides of our body, So we're gonna offer a twist when we do our movement, and the sound here is all right. But I've changed it a little bit. My teachers didn't teach me this one, but in my experience, I like to grab the fist, pull them back, and look at my hands are around my liver space. Big breath in. Exhale, we're gonna start to the right. Bring it back. Exhale. Inhale. And listen, guys, this is our opportunity to let it go. All of our answer, all of our frustration. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Whatever you're angry about, exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Angela. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one more time to the right. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, breathe back. Exhale, hands down. Smile. Take that corner of your mouth and smile. I know you probably felt like doing that. You felt that anger, or at least I did. All of that what I was going through, I just felt to leave. So, and in here, just breathe into the space, into the liver, in particular, if you want to go into the organ. Exact. Breathe there. Your liver's on your right side. Spine straight. Hands are relaxed. Just down and relax and breathe. Smile into your liver. Big breath in. Big exhale. Breathe it in. And let it go. I want you to focus on your heart center. Focus on your heart center. Elements of the heart. The negative emotions related to the heart are impatience, arrogance, hastiness, cruelty, and violence. We feel it in our heart. We get so passionate. Color associated with the heart is red. Anger, red. We see that. Not just the liver anger. That liver anger is one that'll stay with you. That heart anger seems to be spontaneous, and you're just passionate about it. Also, joy, happiness comes with the heart. The heart is connected to our tongue. So the things we speak, we talked a lot about the power of word, no more. Power of the spoken word, what we speak is connected to our heart, to how we talk, to have a sharp tongue, so to speak, to have a venomous tongue, they say. It's the things we say, and not just to others, to ourselves, coming from here. So hands that we're focused on our heart. We don't have to put our hands to our heart, but our heart sound is feel the heat as you exhale. Release that heat from around the heart. Big breath in. Big breath in. And now we're going to add our movement to the heart. So we start at our heart. Breathe in. Exhale. Hands out. Inhale. 2 movements. Interlace the finger. Exhale. Inhale, hands back to our heart. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe it in. Exhale, let it go, let go. Let go of that impatience. Let go of that arrogance. Let go. I desire to be violent. Palms up and open. Inhale. Interlace the fingers. Exhale. Open up the space for joy and happiness in your heart. Open up your heart. Palms up, palms open. Open up the heart. Focusing on your heart center. Breathe it in. Let it out. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Focus on your heart. Inhale. And exhale. Release the fingers all the way down. Hands to your lap. 3 breaths in. Breathe it in. Smile into your heart center. Smile there. And you can, don't hold back. You can do a big smile. You can take the right eye all the way over to the left ear. You can take the left all the way to the right. You know how it is. Heart open. When you find that love, when you find your love, how you feel, that radiating around the heart. And what happens in the heart is being an important organ because we take the energy from the heart and we shoot it all the way out to our fingertips. We shoot it all the way down to our toes. We bring it up to our crown from our heart. Open up the heart. Good. Big breath in. And exhale. Big breath in. And exhale. So now we're going to focus on our center. Our center. We're going to focus here on this center right here is a big emotional center. The center of our right here. This is where we tend to feel what we call our gut feeling, right? Our gut feeling. This is our center for intuition, because it's our earth, and our earth is connecting all beings. So we relate it to our spleen and our stomach and our ability to take in experiences, digest those experiences, and use those experiences to benefit ourselves and to benefit others. Just like when we take in food, we use that food as nutrients to help our body grow and to sustain ourselves. So this is our area in which we take in our experiences. And this is why this area tends to get padded. Well, this is the area where we grow. You know, we take the uterus moves up into this area so that we can grow life as women. But this is the area that also becomes guarded with adipose tissue, this area right here, because we're protecting this area when in life we can't accept those experiences. We can't integrate and transform those experiences. Life has given us too much. We can't, we tend to gather a bit extra barrier in this area to guard this part of our body, because we know that this is where we really are going to be forced to integrate those experiences. And then we create this barrier, and we don't actually get rid of those experiences. We lock those experiences with us, and we don't actually integrate those experiences. We just keep them locked right here. We keep our experiences locked in our body. And so in order for us to truly realize ourselves and to be quiet enough to hear our ancestors, we have to be able to process our experiences right now and release those experiences. Don't leave them stored up. And so we're going to work here on our spleen stomach right now, and then give ourselves permission to let go of any energy that we're storing here, so that this can be open to experience, open to digest and transform our experiences. Okay. So the sound here is a like whoo sound, like whoo. I like om here as well. I like the om sound, even though that om sound is up here in this chakra, but I like it here too, because if you can bring it down just the om, that deeper om sound, and it's also from the root as well. If we study any chakra work, you know, the sounds associated with it. But I tend to like it coming through here, because for me it creates that line up and down through the aorta and the vagus nerve, moving up and down, and mesentery plexus in this area. So I like that sound om, but we're going to do that sound hum, who, like who, like who, like who am I? Who, big breath in. And we just simply take our hands, and we're going to go right into the area. Whoo. Breathing in. Whoo. Breathe it in. Whoo. Whoo. Go in there. Go in there, let it go. Whoo. I'm checking y'all cameras now. I see some of y'all can't let me see y'all working. Y'all got to do this work. Y'all here? Ooh, do your work. Do the work. I'm here. We're here. Let's do this work. Ooh, uh-oh. Y'all just watching and enjoying it. Let's get this work. I know some of you don't want to be on a camera. I get it. Ooh, I'm going to see y'all around. I'm going to see you. Ooh. Ooh. Big breath in. One more time. Breathe it in. Let it go. Breathe out. Spine straight. Let's sit with that energy. Smile into that area. Smile into that area. I mean, you feel like the tears are coming up, let them up and out. Let it go. Big breath in. And exhale. For this one, we'll stand and I'll stand with you. We can do this online as well, but I'm going to do a standing. We can do it laying down because we're going to integrate the entire system, okay? But we're going to do this one laying down or standing. If we decide to lay down, you'll be able to move into the next movement even faster because we'll follow with the meditation. If you decide to lay down, that's cool. If you want to stand up, we'll stand up and do it. And we're working on a thing called the sunjiao or the triple burner. And the thing about this is we don't have a Western name for it, but it's a connection between the upper, the middle, and the lower body. And in the West, we don't have a concept of that, but in the East, they had a concept of that. So we're going to breathe up. The sound is he. So palms up, and you're going to lose my palms. Let me get it in the frame. So palms up, we come down, straight down. Hands are even. The angle of my camera won't allow it to be so. Inhale, breathe up. Inhale, breathe up. Exhale. Inhale. Once more. Now, how you would do this laying down is you wouldn't even actually move your arms all the way down. Just sit with that energy. 3 deep breaths. Sit with that energy. Sit with that energy, dude. 3 deep breaths. Beautiful. And we can smile. We can smile from our crown all the way down. All the way down towards our toes. So we sit with that energy. Just imagine the energy, our light energy moving all the way down, nourishing every part of our being, opening up all the spaces, closing up the spaces that need to be closed. Feeling our connection with our body, allowing our mind to relax and be present. Experiencing our connection with the spirit, with those who came before us, with those who come after us. So we anchor in to our body, our earth. We connect our feet to the earth beneath us. Or if we're in our land position, we surrender our entire body to the earth beneath us. In complete honor and reverence of those who were here before us, the natives who occupied this land, the first people. It's people on which shoulders we stand. May we continue to honor them in each moment. May we stay present in each moment so we can honor them. We're going to end with a mantra meditation provided to us by Dr. Malta Ashby. It says, I am not this body. I am the spirit, immortal, eternal. The body dies, but I live on for all eternity. The body is not me. Let's repeat that 3 more times to ourselves. I am not this body. I am the spirit, immortal, eternal. The body dies, but I live on for eternity. The body is not me. I am not that body. I am the spirit, immortal, eternal. The body dies, but I live on for all eternity. The body is not me. Thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your morning. Thank you for honoring your ancestors. We give thanks to our ancestors, those who came before us. And so it is.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Fuller.
Thank you.
That was powerful, the movements, and thank you for the wisdom and insight into our body and our breath and our spirit. I'd also like to thank Ashley, Angelique, and Queen for your healing energies. I want to thank everyone for spending time with us in this space today. For those of you who may have time, Black Lives Matter Long Beach is having their monthly meeting today at noon. So I'm going to share that link with you all. I've got a couple of announcements and things I'd like to share with folks that's going on in the community and other resources for you. Again, you can find Dr. Fuller on Instagram at Blakwatter or at sotus_integrative_med or at blakwatter.com. Also, for the BLM Long Beach meeting, you can go to tinyurl.com/ all lowercase CJF7 M as in monkey, N as in noodle, CZ. We'll put that in the chat in a moment. And one of our Be Well co-founders was with us earlier this morning. Magic Hollins has an incredible podcast called Fight the Funk Podcast. You can find it at fightthefunkpodcast.com or at iHeartRadio, where he has interviewed so many incredible people. I think he's in his 54th episode now, really advocating around mental health and connecting it to civil rights and social justice issues and our well-being. He is a peer-to-peer educator and facilitator with NAMI. And Kim, who was with us earlier, is also a Be Well member. She's right now prepping the BLM meeting. She offers free yoga on Zoom on Saturdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the Zoom ID number is here, 584-182-9749. And we can share these messages in an email as well with folks. We want to invite you to check out our website. It's bewellcollab.com. I want to thank you for being in this space and really just uplifting a Black-centered space, being in our diverse community together. If you find that you or folks that you love or care about are having some challenges around mental health and you're looking for some resources or ways to deal with these difficult times during the pandemic or with grief and loss and all of that, please check us out at bewellcollab.com/gethelp. We have a number of resources there that could be helpful, as well as emergency phone numbers. So with that, I'm just going to add a couple of things in our chat and just a really quick question. Wanted to know how folks found out about today. If you could share in the poll how you found out about today's event. I am putting in the chat, registering for the BLM meeting at 12 noon if you're interested in doing that. We also have a really short two-question survey if folks would like to fill that out. I'm sorry, it's actually 3 questions. If folks could fill it out and let us know a little bit more about what you would like to see in future free webinars. Again, want to thank our sponsor, Elite Skills Development and the Long Beach Black Health Equity Fund for supporting today. And here you'll find some links to Magic's Be Well, Fight the Funk podcast. And if you're interested in getting a free COVID kit from Ashley, check out the Swazi shop. That's the swazishop.com. And would love if folks would check out with what is one word, if you put one word in the chat for how you're leaving this space today. One word of how you are leaving this space today. Stick that in the chat so we can see how folks are feeling. How are you leaving us? I'm seeing centered, expanded, open, relaxed, joyful, full, uplifted. I don't know about you, but I noticed doing these breathing activities and the movement, I started to get dizzy. Like I can just feel that energy. Feels like I need this more. I see connected, recentered, beautiful, wonderful, love it. And in the words of Magic Hollins, our Be Well co-founder, wellness is a pathway and not a destination. So if this workshop brought up any feelings that you'd like to explore, there are some resources again in our website, bewellcollab.com. I'll put that link in the chat. So from Be Well, all of our Be Well members, folks who are in Be Well, if you'd wave, put on your camera so we can give you credit and thanks for being part of this. This is a group of volunteers who've gotten together for almost a year now, who really care about our community and our future. So thanks everyone. Stay connected. It doesn't have to end here. We look forward to seeing you again in the future, and be well. Bye.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks everybody.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Be blessed, be safe.
God bless everyone. Ashe.
Ashe.
Mm-hmm.